Welcome in to Keeping Up with Vestavia Athletics. I'm your host, Caleb Brooks, joined by head volleyball coach, Coach Ashlee Hardee. We want to thank Ulch Mulch for allowing us to be here each and every week to bring you Keeping Up with Vestavia Athletics. If you're around the Vestavia area, you're needing landscaping, you need stone masonry, any of those type of needs, make sure to hit up Ulch Mulch. You can find the number to them online. Also, right here on our show in the commercial, the number will be listed. Make sure to give them a call. Coach, big week for you guys last week, coming off of a big week the week before where you guys won 2 area games, went down to Florida, played really well down there. You cap it off the area with a win against Thompson this past week, and now you know that you will be hosting the area tournament here at Vestavia, and having a home court advantage for the most meaningful part of the season. That's what every team sets out to do, and you have to be really proud of the way that your team was able to go out and accomplish that.
Yes, it was great. You know, we've been, to this point in the season, we've been able to avoid and dodge injuries, played tough when we needed to play tough. We had Hoover, Tuscaloosa County here. We had to go to Thompson to make our way through the area. We were able to do that, which was great. Such an accomplishment. I'm very excited for our team, for our families, for the fans that are going to come watch us play, that we get to do it here, at Vestavia in our home gym. We still got a little bit of work to do because we're not going to do that until middle of October. But again, being able to host the area tournament was definitely one of our goals, and accomplishing that certainly feels great, and we're super happy about the way the team's been playing.
On top of that, you then go on the road again, a long trip up to Fort Payne, Alabama, where you take on the Fort Payne Wildcats, and they got a really good volleyball team this year, and you guys were able to go take care of business and beat them 3-0, and that had to be really encouraging to see your team not let a hangover of a big match with Thompson, going on the road, knowing that they're area champs, affect anything with going up there and going and playing a good Fort Payne volleyball team.
Yeah, and you make the point, perfectly. That's why we scheduled it. We wanted. Now, of course, the Thompson game got moved a little bit because of some reorganizing of football, earlier in the season. But we had that for a reason, to be able to, once the area play was done, win or lose, to be able to go on the road against a good opponent. They're a 6A school, and they're really good, and not everybody may know that, but I mean, we had to go up there, get ourselves organized, collected, and play really good volleyball, and that kind of stuff we'll be able to look back on and know that we do that. If we're fortunate enough to move on from the area tournament, we got to go to Huntsville. We got to go to these other places and play. So getting out of Birmingham a little bit, it's not too far of a ride up there. Taking a bus ride too is always fun, and I'm happy we played good volleyball.
What did you feel like your team did exceptionally well this past week to be able to have the results that they had?
Well, we served it great against Thompson. Thompson's a good program. They always have been. They always will be. But I think we were able to put up 12 aces, if my statistics are correct, on that match, and that's a huge number in 3 sets, and just to be able to put the pressure on another team from the service line. They have really good attackers, but if they're not able to pass it well, if they're not able to play from the middle of the court, it becomes difficult, and that's the case with anybody. And so doing it at home, doing it on the road, being able to serve and generate aces. And then when we don't get the ace and the easy point, we hope that they kind of spray it all over the gym, and they're running, and it becomes easier defensively. We keep that up, we can be in the ball game with anybody, and then it's just a matter of executing at the end.
When you look at this group, 5 seniors this year, we talked early in the year about their leadership and what they've been able to do. How much do you feel like that's improved as the season's gone on and this team's come closer with, a trip to Florida and these bus rides and, getting to come more together as the year's gone on?
Oh, it's been great. The leadership's been awesome. The seniors have been great. The whole team has really been. So, the seniors have definitely done their job, but it's a group that really gets along to begin with. And so that's nice. When we get in pressure situations, the competition doesn't really change us a whole lot. Sometimes, the pressure of the moment can change people, maybe, play a little angry or things like that, and you don't want that to happen. But if it does, just when your leadership steps in, we've had a couple of moments around here where I've seen some of the seniors kind of step in and be like, hey, it's okay, right? We're going to be fine. And that's a big deal for us, and it's really great to see.
I know last year you were coming in trying to establish your culture, the way you want things done, that type of stuff. Do you feel like all that's come together the way that you envisioned it at this point now here in year number 2?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to dance around it. I mean, we're area champs. area regular season champs in second year here, and that's a huge accomplishment for the kids to be able to come in and work hard, do some of the extra work in the summer that we asked to do. All the practices and things that takes to do that, because it's not easy. We're playing, whether it was last year Area 6 with Spain Park and Trussell, who's gotten a lot better, or this year, when we move over, we have Hoover and Thompson. And Tuscaloosa County is a good program too, with a very good record this year. It's none of it's been easy, but I'm proud of the way we've handled ourselves, in these competitive moments. I always tell them I want them to enjoy the competition. Like we were just talking about, not letting the competition get the best of you, and we've really been able to do that.
You guys will have Homewood right here on a Tuesday night this week, and then also will be taking on Spain Park this week as well. And playing against them, who obviously has been right there at the top of the state the last couple of years. I mean, what are you going to look for against them? Obviously, hoping that you're going to see a team like that on down the line.
Well, yeah, but for us, it's the consistency, and how long can we be at our best. I talk to the team, all the time, and saying the hardest thing that we have to do is pay attention. And pay attention to all the fine details. No easy points for the other team, because we don't know when that exchange and momentum is going to come. And maybe we just lose focus for a second, and an easy ball falls, and they score 4 in a row, and now the match is just turned upside down. Homewood, Spain Park, Thompson, Hoover, it doesn't matter, right? The competition, the team on the other side of the net shouldn't really dictate the way we play. We should make sure we can do that on our own. And we try and do that. We try and work on that in practice, and we'll do that in the games here. Homewood's a really good team. Spain Park is coming off a state championship. They're still ranked number 2 in the state. So, I mean, there's plenty to be motivated about. But we're going to try and play as best we can for as long as possible.
Coach, really appreciate you taking the time again this week to sit down here with us on Keeping Up with Vestavia Athletics, and good luck to you guys. Really, really looking forward to seeing how the rest of this week goes, and look forward to being right back here next week to recap it and start previewing the next week.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
Ulch Mulch is a proud sponsor of Vestavia High School Athletics and the Keeping Up with Vestavia Athletics show. If you're in need of lawn maintenance, natural stone masonry, concrete, or any other landscaping or hardscaping needs, look to Ulch Mulch, located right here in Vestavia. That's Ulch Mulch. Just call 205-704-0880 for your estimate today, or visit our website at www.ulchmulch.com. Welcome back in. Keeping Up with Vestavia Athletics, presented by Ulch Mulch. If you're around the Vestavia area, you're needing some landscaping done around your house, stone, masonry, any of that type of stuff, look to Ulch Mulch. We appreciate them allowing us to be here each and every week, giving you Keeping Up with Vestavia Athletics. I'm joined by head football coach, Coach Robert Evans. And Coach, bye week for you guys. Last week we got to talk a lot about what that week was going to entail for y'all. You practiced Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, gave the guys a long weekend. How did you feel about the way that your team handled the bye week last week, the practices during the bye week, and how did you feel about how they came back Monday after a long weekend off?
Yeah, I think anytime you get out of your routine a little bit, it takes a little bit of time to kind of get back at it, and that's typical. It's human nature to kind of feel your way through after a long weekend to practice, but I thought we got some good things accomplished, and last week we worked on kind of ourselves more so than Chelsea, and even this week it's really kind of more about what we're doing than the schematics of what Chelsea's doing. And so trying to get our work in, but also be fresh as the season kind of wears on. You tend to we'll go just a little bit shorter in practice and try to get to Friday and fresh and ready to go.
Yeah, that's a big key, especially in this region right here where injuries can mount up and it's such a physical game week in and week out. How do you try to balance that, and how tough does that make planning practice later in the year? Do you have to cut out certain periods that you had early in the year, that type of stuff?
Well, I think with our schedule, we get we have weight training first period, and we work out for most days, but then we also have the second part of that period to get our walkthroughs, to get our meetings, to get some treatment things done that we do is for our guys. So what it does is it allows us to go a little bit shorter. So we'll start about 3, and we don't go longer than probably an hour and a half this time of year. So today will be our longest practice, and it's 18 periods, and we'll be off the field at 4:30. But I think as the year goes on, it's a little self-defeating to stay out there too long, and it's really, again, more about us evolving offensively and defensively and hammering home our base core. And we get a lot of work against each other. That's one of the things I've kind of learned. The guys enjoy competing in practice, and it's something you don't want to take away from them. And the reality is, in this day and age, you have a game plan going in, but oftentimes you don't get what you work on. So you have to fall back to what you know. And so it's good from us for both sides, because defensively we do a lot, and offensively we do a lot. And to be able to just put the ball down and play, and the guys have to react and go back to their home base of checking, making checks and adjustments and things of that nature, whether it's blocking in the run game or coverage in the secondary and defensively. So I just think we get 20 or 25 minutes against each other every day, and that, along with getting some specific Chelsea work, is advantageous to us this time of year.
When you look at the weather, starting to make that shift now to where it's a
Yeah.
little bit cooler, not as humid, does that help at all with your guys recovering
Sure.
and then also not losing as much
Absolutely.
weight and sweat?
Well, kind of, sort of. I think it's one of those things where if you take it for granted, you can still have cramping issues. And been a part of teams in the past that did a great job of hydrating while it was in the 90s outside, and on the turf it's, where the bulb temperature is over 100. And then when it cools down, those guys tend to neglect that some. And so we actually talked about that yesterday, still taking care of your body, getting the maximum amount of sleep, and then starting the hydration process for, we always anticipate a 4-quarter game, and no reason that would be any different this Friday.
When you look at this Chelsea team, obviously they had another very hard-fought game. Their last, countless games outside of Thompson has been very close and tight-knit throughout this season. You're getting a team that has been tested late in the game. What are some of the things that they present that could cause you guys some issues?
Well, I think they have some good skill, and I think they do a good job coaching their team. I think the new coach that has come in has done a really good job. And, some of their offense is similar, and then there's a little bit of variation, but it starts with, they have really good skill. They have 2 or 3 receivers that could play for anybody in our region, and then they have a running back who's one of the top running backs in our region. His dad was actually played with his dad in college. Emerson Russell is a fantastic player and will probably play in college, I would imagine. I think he's that talented. His father, Jerome Russell, was one of the all-time leading rushers at Sanford, and he looks very similar to his dad. And so he's going to break tackles. He's going to make people miss, and we got to do a good job kind of corralling, get to the ball, and getting him on the ground.
I know we've talked about how your team, understands what is ahead of them, what they need to do in order to get to where you guys want to get to. But is there any kind of worry that, your last game you play so well, then you have that off week, just making sure that your guys are all focused on the right thing this week?
No, and I don't think we played all that well in the last game. I thought we had a good half. And so the guys understand the implications. And, we're not going to talk about it every week, but at the same time, they know if we lay an egg, then, again, our destiny is not in our hands. It's in somebody else's, and we got to hope somebody beats Chelsea or somebody beats Tuscaloosa County or somebody beats Hewitt or whoever else. So we control our destiny, and right now, and that's all we want to do moving forward. And again, it's not so much about the playoffs as it is us kind of playing to the standard of how we want to play, which is an up-tempo, fast, physical brand of football.
You talked about working on yourselves. What are some of the things that you now want to see after the bye week?
We continue to work on our passing game. Wasn't pleased with yesterday. We've got to get better play out of our receivers, and we've addressed that with them. And we got to have some guys step up in that position group. And then, we got to clean some things up offensively, just from probably tend to get too many formation penalties. And then defensively, you're always working on the stuff that beats your base stuff, which is, balls down the field or trick plays or formation adjustments. There's just so many things that we try to do defensively, so there's always things to work on. And then leveraging the ball. We didn't leverage the ball. We had a couple of big plays, spit against Spain Park, and this is going to be a perimeter. The next 2 to 3 weeks will be perimeter games where people are just going to throw it out on the perimeter and make us tackle on the perimeter. And that's most weeks in high school football, because it's a very easy passing concept just to throw it out there to an athlete and let him make a play. So we've got to do a better job leveraging the ball as a defense, and something that we'll get in practice and working on individual drills actually today.
I was able to do the Chelsea and Helena game early in the year. One thing I noticed with Chelsea is they use motion a lot with their guys. How is that going to affect things with how you have to play
it's actually
defense?
good for our preparation. I really enjoy it. And I'm a GA at heart. And I've told people, that's how I learned football. And so I still draw and split duties with Coach Rainey, drawing the cards. And so it's much variation in motion and making our guys think and practice that we can get, the better it is for us long term. And so we get a lot of motion from our offense in practice, and we get a lot of motion in our scout cards from Chelsea. It's something they do. It's smart. It's what a lot of good teams do, trying to gain a mathematical advantage at the last second. We do it offensively all the time, and we've got to make sure our calls are checked in the right thing. And the thing is, you don't ever know when it's coming, and we play a lot of different fronts and defenses, so you hope that you're dotting all your I's and crossing all your T's to make sure you cover pretty much everything. But we get a lot of variety from our offense and think that we get about as much as we can get when we go against our offense in practice.
You feel like getting off to a good start, a quick start offensively is going to be important this week coming off the bye week?
Well, it's always important. I don't know if it's like it's not the focal point of the game, but that's why we take the ball more times than not. We want to get off to a quick start, and if nothing else, we want to flip the field. But we want to play with a tremendous pace. Chelsea will pace it as well at times, and so we've got to be ready for that. There were some times we didn't handle. We got quick snapped 8-10 times against Spain Park and did not handle that well as far as getting the calls in and getting lined up. So I would imagine we would get some of that. And I think for us, again, this week, these 2 weeks have been more so about what we do on both sides of the ball than about the opponents we have coming up. So we take care of ourselves. We just think things will fall out the way we would want them to fall out.
What are your biggest keys for this Friday?
Limiting big plays defensively. If we don't give up big plays and we make people 8, 10, 12 play us down the field, we can live with that. But if people have explosive plays, and I would imagine we'd get some trick plays, we'd get some, the last few years they've tried flea flickers, reverses, reverse passes, and they show that stuff on tape, and I would imagine we would get some of that. And then obviously tackling and leveraging the ball. They're explosive. They've got 1 or 2 receivers can really do some damage, and then the Russell kid's a very good football player. And then offensively, we got to value the ball. We did that against Spain Park. If we value the ball and play with pace, then we'll have a good night. If we don't, then we'll be in a 4-quarter game. And again, we have respect for all of our opponents and anticipate 4-quarter games. You don't ever go into it thinking that you're going to just play half of a football game. But we want to be explosive. We need explosive plays, and we need better play out of our receivers, and hope to get that on Friday against a good Chelsea team.
Coach, appreciate you again taking the time to sit down and join us for Keeping Up Vestavia Athletics, and good luck to you guys on Friday.
Thanks for having us. Thanks, Caleb.
Ulch Mulch is a proud sponsor of Vestavia High School Athletics and the Keeping Up with Vestavia Athletics show. If you're in need of lawn maintenance, natural stone masonry, concrete, or any other landscaping or hardscaping needs, look to Ulch Mulch, located right here in Vestavia. That's Ulch Mulch. Just call 205-704-0880 for your estimate today, or visit our website at www.ulchmulch.com.
Welcome back in, Keeping Up with Vestavia Athletics, presented by Ulch Mulch. Caleb Brooks, now joined by Grace Mehrer, a junior member of the volleyball team here for Vestavia. And Grace, you look at the season for y'all, you're sitting at 27-6 right now, playing great volleyball, and y'all really started playing your best volleyball at the right time of year with area play coming over the last 2 weeks. And just kind of give me your thoughts on this season so far, and how you felt about what this team's been able to accomplish up to this point.
I think it's been awesome. I don't think we came into the season thinking we were going to do this well, which is really cool that we're doing this well. And I think we just have overcome a lot and accomplished a lot, and just with our circumstances. So.
You look at, 5 seniors on this team. How do you feel about the way that they've kind of led this group? And not only do you have 5 seniors, but you got a freshman that plays, you got some sophomores, you got y'all that are juniors. The way that y'all just kind of been able to come together as a group and not let the age difference or any of that kind of affect things with this team.
Yes, I think that's really cool. I mean, the seniors have definitely taken a lot of leadership, which is very helpful. And we have some freshmen and sophomores, and just being able to include them has been awesome.
When you look at this year, y'all have had some key moments of this season. Obviously the Bodie tournament at the beginning of the year, going and playing some great competition in that. You host a tournament right here. Talk about that a little bit, those tournaments early in the season, especially the one here, and what was that like to get to have some of the best volleyball in the state right here at your home gym?
I think it was awesome. We did really well in the Bodie tournament, and again, I don't think we expected going into that we would beat some of the teams that we did, which is really it was just super cool and good experience for us to start the season up on a high and on a good run. And then our tournament here was awesome. I think we did really well again against Jasper. We did amazing. We got lots of blocks, and it was just a fun experience to be able to host something here.
You guys went down to Auburn as well. They're a really, really good volleyball program. You faced some other programs that you had not played before down there, a team from Georgia. But then really the big match that everybody's talked about is the match with Auburn at their home gym, and y'all going and winning 2 games, 2-0. How big was that for the confidence of this team going forward, especially with area play starting right around the corner?
I think it was huge, especially with area coming up, because we had a couple really good games, and then we had some that were questionable. Or just, we didn't do our best. But then going into Auburn, already exhausted. We were all exhausted. We had spent the weekend at the lake. We were tired, but on a high. And I just think we really came and knew what we needed to get done, and we got it done.
You guys went down to Florida, had a trip down there. How much closer do you feel like the team got after a trip like that, where you get to go and you get to hang out away from volleyball, and you get to be and you just get to all kind of be together over a 3-day period?
I definitely think we grew a lot as a team. We had some team bonding moments at night and just hanging out. It was really awesome. I didn't think the bus ride down would be bonding moments, but it was awesome just to be able to be together and experience that weekend together. I think just being at the beach, everyone's good vibes, and I think our team chemistry has definitely gotten better, even though we started off with really high team chemistry. I don't think I've ever experienced in another team, which has been just a good way to start the season.
Yeah. Looking at Thompson this past week, tell me about that match there and just how you felt about the way that y'all were able to perform and play well. Coach said he really felt like y'all served the ball really well in that game, and just what was the focus like going into that, knowing what a win would give for y'all?
Yeah, I think we all went in. I don't think the thing that made us have that strong start was that we went in with confidence. We didn't go in timid or nervous, knowing that what the outcome was of that game, if we got to host area or not. And I think we just came in and we knew that we wanted to host, but we had to finish the game and win the game to be able to host, which was huge. And I think our serves were awesome. We had some really good kills, and we just stayed on top while they went down and got in the hole. We kept digging through, and we won.
Obviously, that's what everybody wants to do, host area. You guys are going to now get to do that. And so now that y'all have accomplished that, just talk about that a little bit and what that means for y'all in this program.
I think that's awesome. We didn't get a host area last year, which was fine. I mean, it is what it is. But I think it's been a good reminder to us of how much we put into the season and how much work we've done and accomplished. And so it's just a cool little chip on our shoulder little cool thing that we get to do, which is it's a good vibe of us getting to host.
How big is that to get having the biggest games of the year right here? You get to be in front of your fans, students, all that. How much can that help at that point in the year when that comes around?
I think that's huge. We definitely need supporters and people in the stands. I think when you have people in the stands, we all are just at our best, and we think that's super cool to have people there and experience too. It's a really fun game to watch, in my opinion, and I think people don't realize how much fun it is till they're here, and then they just want to come to all of them, which is super cool.
What is kind of the biggest key now here to finish out this regular season? What are you going to be looking for the most with this team, and what do you feel like y'all need to improve on the most in order to set yourselves up to go and win the area tournament here at home and then go and have success this postseason?
I think definitely just mentality. Sometimes in games we get down mentally, and volleyball obviously is a very mental sport. It's hard to get out of your head when you make a mistake or to hype up our teammates when they make a mistake. So definitely just keeping up with our mentality and just helping each other and pushing each other.
All right, so we're going to do the get to know you part now here of the interview. And so first, just tell me what your favorite food is, and then how often are you eating that food?
I think my favorite food, this kind of sounds funny, is apples, a good Honeycrisp apple, and some peanut butter.
Really? So is that a snack you're eating pretty often?
I pack it in my
week?
lunch every single day, and I usually eat it after volleyball.
Awesome. Hey, that's nice. What about your favorite movie? I mean, it can be a favorite movie, a genre movie, an actor. I mean, what type of movies are you into, I guess?
I'm not a huge movie person, but I think my favorite movie that I've seen is definitely Jumanji.
With The Rock in it, or?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay,
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah.
Are you watching any TV shows right now or anything?
I'm not at the moment. I'm just so busy. I'm like
Yeah.
not focused on.
Was there
But
anything
yeah.
this summer that you were watching or into?
I watched Vampire Diaries. Very good. It's a very long season. It has lots of seasons. So.
Okay, awesome. Here in school, man, what's your favorite? Like, what do you look forward to most? What class, what subject do you like to go to?
I love the social aspect of school. I'm a very social person. I run off people's energy. I think my favorite subject is definitely history because of the people in it. I just have a really good class, and my teacher's awesome. It's just fun to be around that sort of environment.
Yeah. Obviously, you got another year of high school after this, but have you already started thinking about what you are going to do once you leave here, if you want to go to school and what you want to get into, that type of stuff?
I do. I want to go to college. I'm not sure where yet. We're looking right now. So fun college touring. But I do want to go into nursing or hospitality.
Okay, awesome. What would be your message to people on what makes this volleyball team and just being a part of Vestavia athletics in general fun and a team to come out and watch and support the rest of this year?
I just think our team we have really good energy. We accomplish great things. We want to win. Obviously, everybody wants to win, but we just have a different kind of mindset, I think, and some really good teammates, and we have really good mentality, and we're ready to win. So.
Awesome. Well, listen, good luck the rest of this year. Appreciate you taking the time to join us, and really look forward to seeing how the rest of this year goes for y'all.
Thank you.